Hello guys, welcome to Nerdsup. Today's topic is nearest neighbor classifier with scikit-learn. So this is a comparison video where we are going to compare the sklearn results with the nearest neighbor classifier that we made in my previous video. So if you're not checked out my previous video, go check out my previous video, and we're going to perform nearest neighbor classifier on pen-based recognition of handwritten digits. Dataset is the same dataset that we used in my that I used in my previous video, and this is the data abstract where it is a 16-dimensional data. For those who have not seen my previous video, this is the data, how it looks like. I stored it in pendigits.txt. It's a 16-dimensional data, and the last column represents the classes. And if you want to know more about this data, you can go check out my previous video where I talk more about this data, and I have the link to the data information in the description of this video, which is below. So yeah, go check out if you want to know more about this data. So let's get started. First, we will obviously import our dependencies from sklearn.neighbors. We're going to import kneighbors classifier, and we're going to import numpy as np for scientific calculations. Actually, numpy is not going to do any scientific calculation in this one. No, sklearn. Okay, let's run this cell. Sklearn is going to do everything for us. Let's define our load data function, which will take as parameter file, and it will return np.load text as file. This is the same function which I used in my previous video. If you're not checked out my previous video, go check it out. And I'm gonna copy few lines of code from my previous video. So these are the 5 lines that I copied, and other thing I will copy is this KNN class. So we need the constructor and the normalize function from, wait, what happened? I think I by mistakenly pressed Control P. Yeah, so we need normalize and the constructor of this class. So I'll copy that. We'll need that the same. If you want to know these functions in detail, what are they doing, go check out my last 2 videos. And we're gonna define a function train in where we'll make our model, nearest neighbor model, using scikit-learn. So self.model equals kneighbors classifier, where we'll specify the k value. So nneighbors is the parameter in kneighbor classifier that takes k value. And now we're going to fit the training data to our model. So self.model.fit self.train data and its labels. That's the target. So self.train label, but before running the cell, let me just make this self.model equal to none and self.prediction equal to actually make it none, not 0, and self.acc equals to 0. Those will store the predictions and the accuracy. And now we're going to define the classify function, which will make the predictions. And so self.predict equal to self.model.predict, and we're going to give our test data, self.test data. And now we're going to define the ACC. We're going to, so self.model.score self.test data and the labels, test label, self.test label, and this we're going to store in self.acc. So we got our predictions and ACC. See how simple it is. Just one line of code and the scikit-learn does prediction. One more line of code and it just gives you the accuracy. So scikit-learn is very easy to use, not that complicated. It does the magic for you. So now we're going to define a show ACC function that will display the accuracy for us. So let's do that. When k is equals to self.k, ACC accuracy, ACCURACY accuracy is self.acc. So now we have to just make a class of this we have to make an object of this class and give these function calls normalize, train, classify, and show ACC. So let's do it. Before that, let's run the cell. Load data is not defined. Let me run load data first. No error. Let me run now the cell. No error. Great. Let's get going. KNN equal to KNN. Let's make the object of KNN class and give train, test, and k value as the parameter. Now let's normalize our data, training and testing data by KNN dot normalize, and then let's call KNN dot train and then KNN dot classify and KNN dot show ACC to show the accuracy. Now let's run the cell and error. Great. Classify takes 0 positional arguments, so we have not provided self as a parameter to classify, and show ACC as well. Let's run this cell. Let's load our data and let's perform this again, and boom, 97.42 accuracy. Now let me just compare this sklearn result with the results that we got in the previous video. So we got 0.97.45. Oh, we did better than scikit-learn. So we should be really proud of ourselves. We did really good with our nearest neighbor, because scikit-learn has given us 97.42 and we have got 97.45. Not much difference, but hey, we did much better than, not much better, but we did better than scikit-learn, right? So yeah, it's a big thing. And that's it for this video, guys. See you. Bye bye. And if you like our videos, then do subscribe to my channel Nerdsup and do hit the like button. Okay, bye. See you. Thank you.